back to pillar number 2, bridging science and spirit. And in pillar number 2, I'm of the opinion that consciousness is not localized in your brain. And this is really a tremendous idea, because over many decades of brain research, we've come to slowly believe that the brain is the source of consciousness. And I'm of the opinion that's not true. Okay. In fact, a neuroscientist, Alan Jasanoff, I quote him in my book, warns us that brain scanning technologies are very much in their infancy. Okay. And only provides crude data. Yet we give so much importance to blood flow data, all of those colored pictures, and we think that that's the source of consciousness. But really, we have to ask ourselves, how far down the brain do you go? Where does that consciousness come from? Do we go down to the level of the brain cell, to the cell membrane, to the DNA? And if you unravel the DNA, all those proteins are doing is spinning and vibrating. It doesn't talk to you and me. It doesn't write a symphony or write an equation. The DNA does not write or create things. Pillar number 2 of bridging science and spirit. I am being very provocative here, okay? Pillar number 2, I go right into what is consciousness then? And I'm provocative because I say it is not your brain. Brain is a marvelous organ, just exquisite in its power and its connectivity. And it's an organ of perception. I can say I can see color pink, and all the books behind me, I can label them. It's because of my brain. But does consciousness come from the brain? And I'm going to say no. Your brain is not the source of consciousness. It is a perceptual organ. That means I can label things, I can learn with it. I have language and equations and all that. It's a perception. But consciousness itself is a field. Consciousness is everywhereness. It's not locked in space, like between my ears, and it isn't subject to time. But the brain, the way we make sense of our world is with space and time. That's why it's useful. But consciousness itself isn't space and time bound. It's unbounded. We can go right down to the molecular level, but again, we fail. We're looking at a material thing that is a source of something that is not bound by space and time. And that is a very important leap in your and my understanding. So really, we come to this, again, this idea that consciousness is not bounded by space or time. In pillar number 2, I also discuss the concept of, can a robot have consciousness? And in the age of artificial intelligence, this is tremendously powerful. At the point where we're at now in artificial intelligence, it is driven by human thought, human creation, human algorithms, human coding. So every time you're punching a question into ChatGPT, it brings out a response or output based on language and learning. It just pulls that stuff out of the great massive information out there and gives you a summary. Is that the same as consciousness? Nope, it is not, my friends. But let's approach this question again. Does a robot have consciousness? Can an object have consciousness? And this is the really big question, isn't it? Because humans, we change, we evolve. Can a robot do that? Can a robot actually talk to you like we're talking now, or is it programmed? Okay, what I did today was read a quote from